Hello. I am so excited to dive into this topic today. This is something that will destroy your life, and it is falling for marketing geniuses. Hello, welcome to Yaroke Academy of Healing, Expanding, Spiritually Transforming, and Mastering Energetics. Azan, my cat, is very excited about this episode, as you can see. I'm Yaroke, your host, leadership mentor, nervous system genius, spiritual teacher, clinically trained therapist, and energetic sorceress, which means I'm a master in energetics. We're going to get into that in a little bit. So, as we probably most know, Taylor Swift has announced a new album. And when I heard this, now I first want to caveat this with I like Taylor Swift. I've had profound moments to her music. I have enjoyed her music. I think that she is a lovely human. So I want to caveat that before I dive into this. And as she announced her new album, the internet blew up with obsession about Taylor and Travis and their life and the things and the da 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 da. And I was like, I don't give a fuck about Taylor Swift's new album or her life or her boyfriend, and none of you should either. Now, let me tell you why. Taylor Swift is a marketing genius. Let me tell you why that matters. Because marketing geniuses, let me tell you some other marketing geniuses. That man in the White House, Hitler, World War I, all propaganda and marketing genius, all religions. And what marketing geniuses do is that they present as though they're going to save you, they have something to give you, or they create division, or maybe all three. And now Taylor Swift's intentions are good. So remember, I like her. I'm not saying anything bad about her. But what happens with marketing genius is we become frenetic and obsessive about whatever the marketing genius is doing because it's designed to pull you away from yourself, to extract your energy, your attention, and put it on them or put it on their cause or put it on what they're doing. And what that does is it takes you away from you. It takes you away from you. And what we've done in society is we have pedestaled marketing geniuses, Apple, Steve Jobs, Pepsi, Coca-Cola really is what I was going for, McDonald's, like all of these things that you can think of that like suck your energy and put you in a different place away from yourself so that you're not thinking about the harm you potentially could be causing yourself. Television, marketing geniuses. They are sucking your time, your energy, your attention. And now here's the irony. This quote from Taylor keeps running around the internet about how she says your energy is expensive. That's absolutely true. And she goes on to talk about, if something happens, you're giving like, and that becomes your day, and you're giving that your attention, that's your day. She's totally right. She also capitalizes on that by being a marketing genius. Because if you're obsessing about Taylor Swift and her relationship and her music and the puzzles that I've heard she puts into her music, if you're obsessing about that, you're not thinking about you. And I just want you to sit with that for a minute. You're not thinking about you. And then you're becoming something else more important than you. This also happens with politicians, with wars, with all propaganda. I remember once I had bought this energetics course from a coach, and I watched it, and it was I bought the course, and then there was a live class. And the way she designs her live classes is it's multiple days, and she at the end she sells like an auctioneer, right? And just like you can feel it, it's like pumping up your adrenaline, and you're all in it, and you're like, oh my God, I need the thing, I need the thing, I need the thing. This is gonna save me, this is gonna do it. And I was so activated. I was like, I'm gonna sign up for her year program. And I have the consciousness to pull myself back in and go, wait a minute, what's actually happening for me right now? Oh, I am totally disembodied and disconnected from myself. And I took some breaths and I brought myself back to myself. I did not buy her year-long thing because I did not need it and I would have regretted it. And I came home to myself and I called my power back to me. Now, most people, and you may be included in this, leak their energy all day long. We all do it in some capacity. None of us are exempt from it. I mean, if we take Taylor as an example, we have witnessed ways where she has gotten canceled and she has had massive insecurities come up. She's a human, of course she has. And so she knows she has had to learn to not do this. We all have to learn to not do this. But Taylor's in a unique position in that she has all this money and she's doing what she loves and she has all this influence. And so, what most humans do is they then pedestal someone else rather than connecting to themselves and learning how to not leak the energy. Or they become obsessive about something like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and they pine for that kind of relationship or to have that kind of power or that kind of influence, or isn't she just the best thing in the world? And you start to put that person on a pedestal instead of remembering that you're the most valuable thing that's ever existed in the world and that everybody is unique in what they desire in a relationship. I have no interest in their relationship. It kind of makes me disgusted, actually. That's theirs. It's not what I desire. But we don't ever actually get to know ourselves well enough to know what we desire because we are manipulated by marketing geniuses all day long. And Taylor Swift is a great example of this because, like I said, I like her. She has good intentions. Her heart is good. Her music is good. And so it's subtle. It's like you don't totally realize that you're getting manipulated away from yourself because it's a quote unquote good thing. What's happening here is that no one knows how to be with themselves. And if you were to say to me, Yarrow, I know I'm with myself all the time. Trust me, I'm a genius at sussing out all the ways that you're disconnecting from yourself. We are not taught how to do it. And so you may start to wake up to some sort of spiritual journey, or you start to heal and you may start to feel better. But I want you to feel so deeply connected to you that you don't need anything outside of you and that you feel complete internal freedom and you're not attached and you're not getting sucked into marketing geniuses. You are connected to you and what feels true and right for you. And we have so many sneaky, subtle ways that we choose attachment over authenticity. And that could be attachment to a person, to a job, to society, to belonging, to, just whatever it is, to a belief, right? If you stop believing something, will that change your dynamic with your friends? Will you then feel alone? And then you start to dishonor yourself and reject yourself by not allowing yourself to authentically be you. And then it feels easier to obsess about something else. Taylor Swift is just my example. It could be anything. It could be politics. It could be a cause. It could be anything. And the truth is, until all humans feel safe enough in their nervous system to come home to themselves, to attune to their inner child, to process the trauma coded in your nervous system, to actually get honest about who you are, what you desire, and the life that you want to create, we will always have division in this world. And we will always have marketing geniuses who play off of that division. Because a marketing genius wants one thing: your attention, your time, your energy, right? And Taylor Swift she's a positive role model for that. However, she's still a marketing genius. I'm sure you can think about times that you are thinking about if you are a fan of hers. If not, then choose something else, that you're obsessing or ruminating about something else outside of you because it feels easier than focusing on you. Because you know what? When you focus on you, you're going to have to move through all the unprocessed trauma that lives in your body. And yes, you have it. All of us do. We live in a traumatized and addicted world. There's not a single human who doesn't have it. And what we do is we project it out onto society. We blame society. We blame politics. We blame the world. What's happening in the world right now is a representation of our collective unconscious. It's our collective unconscious. We are mirrors for what is happening in the world. And what you see and what you focus on is what's living inside of you. And I know that that's hard to sit with, and it's high level spiritual concepts that most people will never understand. And even if they conceptualize it intellectually, most people will never embody it because most people are too terrified to actually go that deep into their own personal responsibility of who they actually are on this planet and how they're showing up in the world and what their energy is doing and what their energy is creating. And so, if you want to talk about your energy is expensive, it's fucking so expensive because it's causing wars, because you're at a war within yourself and it's projecting out and it's causing what is happening in our world. We're literally all mirrors for each other. We are all a part of everything. And if you pretend that you're not, you're resisting your own darkness. And actually, I was on Threads this morning and I saw someone comment about Taylor and Travis. And they were like, this is just what pure sweet love is. There's no darkness. Everyone has darkness. And if they're not showing it, it will kick you in the face one day because we all have it. There's no one who doesn't have darkness. I'm obsessed with Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne because their darkness was transmuted into love. And it makes me emotional thinking about this because we all are searching this like fairy tale, everything sweet romance, but we all have dark, ugly parts of ourselves that we don't like to look at. We all have parts of ourselves that we think are shameful or that should be avoided. We all have attachment wounding. No one knows how to love through freedom because loving someone is not about actually how they treat you, it's about loving them. And sometimes the greatest gift you can give to someone is, I'm going to let you go because that's the most loving thing to do. And if we're holding on, if we're attaching, if we're needing that security blanket of another person, we're not free. I believe in love. I believe in divine, cosmic, pure love. I also believe love is freedom. I believe that we are meant to connect and to love each other for who we actually are. And who we actually are is everything. We're light, we're dark, we're gross, we're beautiful, we're expansive, we're joyful, we're fucking angry, we're spiteful. It shows up in all of us. And if you're not looking at those parts of yourself, you're neglecting those parts of yourself, they're going to get reflected at you in the world. And then you're going to fall for marketing genius and propaganda because you're not connected to yourself. My whole desire for everyone through what I teach and how I work with you is to guide you home to you so that you can live the life that feels, notice I said feels, not looks, but feels how you want it to feel. And we fall for marketing propaganda all the time. We fall for marketing geniuses. We fall for these ploys of what celebrities are saying or politicians are saying or what the world is saying or what our community is saying and what we quote unquote should do. And we never take the time to actually connect into our own being, in our own being, to look at all of the dark, ugly parts of ourselves that need tending to so we can bring them into consciousness, love those parts, and integrate into wholeness. It's not about getting rid of anything, it's about bringing it all in together and integrating it into wholeness. And when you're falling for marketing geniuses, when you're obsessing about other people, other things, other relationships, like I used to feel this way about the Kardashians, and everyone was like obsessed with the Kardashians. And I was like, who fucking cares? And that's how I feel about Taylor Swift right now. I don't give a fuck. Like, yes, her music is wonderful. She does beautiful things. I don't invalidate that. I also think there's a lot of shit going on attachment wise. And that is not what I teach. I teach people to become non attached, like truly non attached. And so love feels true and it feels real and it doesn't feel graspy and it doesn't feel clingy and it doesn't feel like you're on show, on parade of like, oh my God, look at how he treats me like a princess. If someone treats you like a princess, all the time, they're probably neglecting their own truth because we're human and we're meant to honor ourselves. And sometimes we're going to feel shitty and we're going to be assholes because we're human and we are human. Like, hear me when I say that. We are human. It doesn't mean that you don't come back and apologize later or have a conversation about it, but like we present this perfection that's just not true and we fall for it. And then we think there's something wrong with us if we don't have it, when the reality is we're human. We all have shitty moments, especially when we're close to people. We often treat the people we love the worst because we're the safest with them. And this literally all comes back to how safe your nervous system feels to be you, to look at all parts of you, to be with your shame. Because when you avoid your shame, you avoid yourself. And so if you're falling for marketing geniuses, you're avoiding your own shame. We all have shame. We have shame about not belonging, not being right, not being good enough, being too much. Like my shame story is I'm too much. I always think I'm too much. And the truth is, I actually am. That's actually a fact. I am too honest, too emotional. I see too much. it triggers people. People don't go that deep in society. They want to keep their nice glossy veneer. And if they do go into those places, a lot of times they're holding on to this victim story or this pain story. And I'm like, hey, let's let go of that. That back to the non-attachment thing. What is it? What are you getting from holding on to that cesspool of pain? How is that serving you? Oh, because it's keeping you safe. Because if you actually start to step into being an empowered, embodied human, you have to let go of your little girl or little boy or little person ways of relating. And that feels really scary to our nervous systems until we attune to our inner child, process the trauma from our nervous system, and learn how to feel safe to actually be seen, to receive, to expand, and to just be, like to just land and just be. And that's what we do in my world in all areas. Right now, I have a 3 month, 6 month, and 12 month program called The Portal. Aslan really loves it. It's such a beautiful community. You have Telegram risks for me Monday through Friday. We have at least two, usually three live calls per month. One of them is a hot seat mentorship call, so you get one-to-one time with me. You have a drop the questions channel where I will personalize your questions for you. You have access to all of my programs. It is such an amazing place to land. So if this is something that's interesting to you, please reach out. You can DM me on Instagram at YaRrowKae, KaeYarrowKae. You can drop a comment below. I also have several other programs. I have some one-to-one options. I have retreats. I have VIP options, all the things. And what I do is I teach you a new way of being. This is YaRrowKae Academy of Healing, Expanding, Spiritually Transforming, and Mastering Energetics. And so that statement Taylor made of your energy is expensive, I teach you how to actually feel safe to honor that, to feel safe to honor that. Do you hear me? Because she can say that and you can be like, yeah, that's true. But your brain will ruminate, it will obsess, it'll fixate, it'll take things personally. And until you actually feel safe in your body to connect back to you, to soften those protectors, because that's what they are. They're protectors. They're trying to protect you from pain or shame. Like if something happens in your day and it's seemingly inconsequential and you're leaking a bunch of energy to it, there's information there. You got triggered, and we have to be able to process that trigger. And when you're absorbed in the world of marketing geniuses, you're avoiding all of that stuff, because then you're just disassociating and focusing on this other thing and fixating and ruminating about someone else's life. In June of 2020, I had a download during a Kundalini yoga Kriya, and it said stop watching TV. And at the time, I was binge watching TV. I was rewatching the same shows: Gilmore Girls, Gossip Girl, Californication, Sex in the City. So like that's where all my energy was going. And this download came through, and I was practicing yoga, meditating, chanting. I was in acupuncture. I was literally doing all the things. And this download came through, and I thought, this is insane. We're kind of on lockdown. I'm going to stop watching TV right now. But it was so clear. And as soon as I stopped watching it, I created my business. And I have since created like a true movie of a life. I built a 7-figure business in 3.5 years. I have like a rom-com romance, like just such beauty, such joy, such connection. I'm learning to sing country. I'm going to EDM shows and dancing for hours. And like I'm fucking living. We suck our energy out because we're on social media, we're watching TV, we're obsessing about Taylor Swift, we're obsessing about something that's 5,000 miles away from us that we literally have no control over, and we're neglecting our lives. We're neglecting our relationships. We're neglecting where we are at in this moment, because everything happens in the present. And when you're disconnected from the present, that's your trauma. Your trauma disconnects you from yourself, and it disconnects you from your present. And then your nervous system and your brain work in tandem to protect you from whatever is living in your body that needs to be processed because it feels really scary to be with. Or it's protecting you from actually connecting to the present and allowing yourself to expand into joy. A client just left a message yesterday saying, I'm having a hard time expanding into joy. And it's taken her time, like a couple years, to be able to admit, this is hard for me to allow myself to expand into joy. And she has released her martyrdom and her people pleasing and her overachieving. She's connected back to herself, and now she's at this next level of needing to expand into joy. And it feels scary because our nervous systems are wired for contraction and scarcity and survival. And so we will then fixate on something outside of ourselves because it's scary to actually tend to ourselves and allow ourselves to relate in a new way. This is about embodying a new identity. Embodying a new identity, just sit with that. Who, if you were to actually operate under the premise that your energy is expensive, who would you be? How would you spend your time? How would you show up? And this is not about being robotic, because I really believe we're messy and wild and free. And in order to be alive, we have to feel safe to be messy, wild, and free. If you don't feel safe to do that, and that's going to look different for everybody, then you're trying to be perfect, and that's another trauma response, and there's going to be rigidity in your body, and it's going to show up as physical, mental, emotional, spiritual sickness in some capacity. And so your work is to reclaim the fact that you are the most precious thing in the world. And so when you find yourself obsessing, ruminating, or getting sucked into the marketing genius around you, please stop and breathe and bring your hands to your body and remember how valuable you are. Because I see a lot of people making Taylor Swift a god and pedestaling her relationship with Travis. And she's not you. You are you. And until you feel safe to be you, you're always going to pedestal someone else, or you're going to judge, or you're going to criticize, you're going to make something else more important than you. There's literally nothing more important than your life. And when you're really quick to pull away from yourself, you will get sucked into the marketing geniuses in the world, and it will keep you disconnected, divisive, and manipulated away from you. And even if people have good intentions, their want is to capitalize your energy and your attention. And your energy and your attention needs to be on you. And in my world, I guide you back to you. I am a transmission for freedom, for love, for joy, for light, for feeling safe to dive to the darkest depths of the hell of your soul, to transmute and alchemize everything into the greatest expansiveness of your spirit, and to come back home into this present moment, into your body. I'm a wild journey of a human, a magical wild journey of a human, and I will guide you home to you in ways you never dreamed possible. So if this calls to you, reach out. Let's do some things together. Otherwise, thank you for joining. Stay tuned for our next video, and I am so excited that you are here. Sweet ones, take time, bring your hands to your body. Breathe all the way to the root, the base of your spine, connect in. At least 5 times a day. Bring your hands to your heart or your thighs or your solar plexus and take 3 long deep breaths. That is a really beautiful practice to start truly coming home to you. And I cannot tell you how important it is to feel safe, to undo the old ways of safety, of seeking outside of yourself, seeking saving in a relationship, in a job, in money, in a career, to release those ways and to actually create new ways of safety so you feel safe to connect to you, to connect to others, to connect to the universe, to the world, to the earth, and to your vision for your life so that you can create a life that feels how you want it to feel. I will see you soon.